Hey, I'm the Coaster Head. Welcome back to my little series, or if you're a first time viewer, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be ranking every roller coaster I went on in 2023. This list consists of 20 roller coasters from England and Orlando, coming from a wide range of manufacturers featuring various record setters and record breakers. Without further ado, number 20. Okay, so number 20 is Colossus at Thorpe Park. This small, intimate, multi-inversion roller coaster was the first in the world with 10 inversions. It has quite the reputation and pedigree, but unfortunately that doesn't excuse the fact that this ride's having an extremely rough year. Never in my life have I come off a ride in so much pain. Sitting on the back row with the old track and the over-the-shoulder restraints, I bore the full force of Colossus, the power of 10 headaches. I really wanted to like this ride, and I'm sure I'll love the near copy Sick whenever I get to visit Flamingo Land, but Colossus was genuinely the most painful roller coaster experience of my life.
Sit back and enjoy the experience.
Number 19, Flight of the Hippogriff at Universal's Islands of Adventure. While this is a very inoffensive roller coaster, at least this one doesn't cause severe headaches. Really not much else to say about this mild family coaster. Number 18, The Walking Dead, The Ride. While it's blatantly obvious that this is an indoor family coaster with a horror overlay, this ride certainly works well with The Walking Dead theming to make it more atmospheric and to build suspense, but ultimately the track does not pay off that suspense. Number 17, Spinball Whizzer at Alton Towers. Spinball Whizzer is one of those rides I don't go out of my way for unless it's a short queue. It's a bit more thrilling than Walking Dead and Hippogriff, and less painful than Colossus, but it's not the most comfortable experience in the world. Number 16, Rita at Alton Towers. Rita is short, fast, and curvy, and fun to ride. However, it's a bit short and doesn't do much with its speed, settling for mere bank turns. Can't deny it's amazing to feel the front row air on that launch though. Number 15, Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. A 4D roller coaster with a solid theme and some fun elements, including the lesser spotted tilt track. Gringotts is certainly a unique experience that isn't too intense but doesn't take it easy either. Number 14, 13 at Alton Towers. So close again. 13 is a ride that gets a bad rep for being overhyped by marketing, which is understandable, but it is a really fun time. The first half gives you some nice G's, and the second half is very exciting, especially if you go in blind, or you get to watch someone else go in blind. Number 13, Nemesis Inferno at Thorpe Park. The sister attraction to Nemesis, Inferno is a decent B&M inverted coaster with 4 great inversions. Inverts are quite a fun style of coaster, especially when there aren't all that many of them in my usual locations. So it ranks higher for being a little different, and with Nemesis closed, this ride does a good job of filling the void. Number 12, the Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket at Universal Studios. Janky restraints and vertical lift hill combo aside, once you get over the top, this ride is really quite fun. Sure, they reduced the song list, but the secret songs are still there. I think riding this thing at 2 AM after 13 Halloween Horror Nights houses while listening to Welcome to the Black Parade is probably one of the most memorable experiences I've had on a roller coaster. Number 11, Galactica at Alton Towers. Nothing beats the feeling of flying, and it's the only good flying coaster in England. I haven't been on Hero, but it looks horrific. Galactica may need a little TLC, and I'm hoping the 2026 season will give it that refurbishment. But it's still a really relaxing ride. Perhaps the most chilled inversions I've experienced. This ride is always a good time, and it's still held strong for the 2023 season. Number 10, the Incredible Hulk Coaster. Now, these old B&Ms may get a little bumpy, but the Incredible Hulk Coaster is one of those coasters that just holds up. Everything from that tire launch, the Cobra Roll, and everything else is just so iconic. Number 9, Revenge of the Mummy at Universal Studios. I have a lot of love for this coaster, even if it's not the most intense layout, because the theming is just so good, the launch is exhilarating, the faux finale is really well done, and the attraction is its own kind of iconic. The reason I've ranked it slightly lower though, is because the ride's had some serious reliability issues since its reopening. I think about 25% of my rides on this thing have been perfectly executed. I'm unsure why things have been so unreliable since the ride reopened, but I hope all the kinks get worked out soon enough. Number 8, Oblivion at Alton Towers. I swear, Oblivion gets more fun each time I go on it. I've had 3 rides on it this year and they were all amazing. It's such a rush plunging into that tunnel at 87.5 degrees. Sometimes the one-trick ponies are still some of the best in show. Number 7, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure at Universal's Islands of Adventure. Disregard the lack of inversions, and what you have is quite possibly the perfect family coaster. Launches, airtime, a spike, backtrack, and even a drop track. This roller coaster is such a brilliant attraction, especially riding on the motorbike side of the car. Number 6, Stealth at Thorpe Park. A new addition to my list of creds for this year, Stealth is an intense experience. The launch is incredibly forceful, and though the ride's only a mere 12 seconds after launch occurs, it is a jolt of energy unlike anything else in England, giving me more of a buzz than most coasters can. Absolutely incredible. Number 5, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Something about the smoothness of this coaster, combined with the storytelling, the music, the spinning cars, this attraction is easily the best Disney have ever made. This ride doesn't need inversions or crazy elements to be an absolute blast. And on to number 4, The Swarm at Thorpe Park. My gosh, that first inversion though, absolutely insane. The way this wing coaster slowly rotates you upside down before dropping you down what is essentially a 180-degree drop. The theming is solid, the experience is very unique, being one of only 2 wing coasters in England, and it's still smooth after 11 years of operating. Number 3, Jurassic World Velocicoaster. The Velocicoaster is dope, okay? From its launches to its inversions, everything about this ride screams world class. The airtime is insane, the top hat is beautiful, and there's a reason everyone is talking about that mosasaur roll. Undoubtedly top tier. Number 2. Oh boy. The Smiler at Alton Towers. Oh jeez, you had no idea how long I spent trying to decide between the top 2, but while I absolutely love the Smiler and its 14 inversions, I couldn't not overlook the fact that it has had a great season. Just a little too rough in places to overcome how overwhelmingly enjoyable number 1 was for me, despite an incredibly beautiful night ride on the Smiler. Sorry Smiler, but there's a new king this year and he wants to play a game. Number 1, Saw the Ride at Thorpe Park. This ride has been both the most terrifying and thrilling experience of my life, I must admit. That 100-degree drop is very intimidating and the theming only makes it scarier. Even though I love Saw. On my first ride through I was overwhelmed with nervous energy, laughing my way up that vertical lift hill. The laughter continued until after I disembarked the Eurofighter. Later in the day I went back on 3 more times and it was just as fun each time. I think this is perhaps the most excited I've been after a roller coaster. Both Saw and the Smiler are my favourites this year, but you know, with being a brand new experience and then Smiler being a touch bumpy, I've given this year's gold to Saw. As Gerstlauer will take home 1st and 2nd place in my rankings. And that concludes this video ranking all of the roller coasters I've been on this year. I'm not sure how many I'll go on next year, but if there were enough in total and some new ones to boot, I might make another list next year. Let me know if you've been on any of these, and if so, which was your favourite. Thanks for watching, see you next ride.